TWM podcast.
Hello, I am Matty Deller, and welcome to our review of AEW Double or Nothing 2020. Insert casino references here. I'll introduce.
Look back, never ever say die. Wanna rock the warrior cry.
Can you guess who's with me today? Before I introduce him formally, I'll run through all the admin. TWM podcasts, we bring you content 6, if not 7 days a week, news reviews and interviews on Apple and Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Acast, TuneIn, Podbean, YouTube, Deezer, wherever else you get your podcast. If you get us on YouTube, please subscribe. We're very, very close to hitting that subscriber goal to get our URL, so please do that. Just search TWM podcasts in the search box thing, and then when you get there, subscribe, smash the like button, turn on notifications so you do not miss a single bit of our content. We are also brought to you by We Love Sport. It's a fantastic app that in normal times would provide you with your nearest sports bar showcasing WWE pay-per-views. Obviously that's not the case right now, but download the app now. It's available on the Apple and on Google stores. Go get it, keep it in your phone, and when all this thing blows over, you've got it right there at your fingertips, and you can book front row seats to all of the big WWE pay-per-view events courtesy of We Love Sport. If you want to check them out, they are doing some fantastic content in the meantime and in between time over at We Love Sport UK and welovesport.co. WrestleCrate, if you use the code TWM Wrestling when you sign up for a monthly subscription, you'll get up to 3 free items when you sign up for 3 months. If you sign up to the upper tier, you will get an exclusive item from WWE superstar Seth Rollins, so go and check that out. WrestleCrate.co.uk and use the code TWM Wrestling. Alongside me, you heard him with his dulcet tones at the beginning of the pod. He's my own personal hangman page. He's angst-ridden, he likes a whiskey, but he's not a cowboy as far as I know. It's Joseph Kingsley.
Whiskey?
Yes. Whiskey, that's what he drinks. You drink. In all fairness, Joe, I just said whiskey because it fits hangman page. I could have said anything, you probably would have drunk it.
That's fair. It's been a while since we've done a podcast together, hasn't it?
Yeah, I remember last time.
Yeah, like you promoted me. Now you are run shows, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's been a while since it's just being you. I can't wait to be as completely irreverent as I usually want.
It's time for you to take the load off. You haven't got to call it in the ring. I'm here. You can do what you do best, and that is provide great insight as I just chat shit. AEW Double or Nothing was last night, and in the current climate, it's been a very rough week in the wrestling fraternity, to say the very, very least. Obviously, don't need to say any more than that, really. This was a welcome tonic. I feel it put smiles on people's faces, and some excitement and some enjoyment and some positivity in the wrestling world. But you don't need me to tell you that. What you need me to do is run through it. If you missed anything, we'll cover it, and if anything that we liked or disliked, we're sure to tell you. So let's talk about Double or Nothing. We start off with the buy-in, where Lance Archer kicked the shit out of a crack den.
Yes. He did. Lance Archer went down to the trap house and he smashed it up. A Fetty Wap pulled up with his queen and was just outside like, no, after they left.
Just, this is going to take a lot. Fetty Wap just turns up and goes, this is going to take a lot to tidy up.
To be Fetty Wap turns up and just says, to be honest, I don't see how I can come back from this.
We go to the buy-in, the opening contest. If you get that joke, well done. If you don't, then don't worry about it. The Best Friends over Private Party. It's been a while since we saw Private Party in the ring. It was good to see them.
That's true. Watch being really every week now because they put me in charge of that. So I've seen them a lot, but yeah, it was good to see them again, and just constantly running through my mind during their entrances. More than one black team at a time is allowed to have fun. More than one black team at a time is allowed to have fun. Just, everyone should remember that.
Well, in this instance, the Best Friends went heel by default in this match.
They did.
Mainly because they just kept doing a lot of shaking hands, which is against all of the rules. The big point here, hopefully someone checked on JR backstage because Trent's headband came off.
Yes, he did. Yes, it did. And not only that, but that's on his name. Isaiah Cassidy, the other guy, the guy with the hair.
Oh, Mark Quinn.
Yes, he put the bandana on.
So he gained Trent's powers of being really awkward.
Yes, he does.
Like I said, it was a good pre-show match. A few blown spots. The match did fall apart a little bit. I will give credit for obviously Chucky T being the veteran in there, bringing it back. Obviously, Private Party are kind of a young, exuberant tag team. They're still going to be a little bit rough around the edges, and this match did fall apart.
By Amazing Red, no less. It's just a mess.
Yeah,
just a mess.
I will give a lot of love. One for the Matt Sydal standing moonsault on the knees by Private Party, but even more love that Private Party hit the G9, which I thought was a lovely little subtle tribute. Obviously wasn't that subtle enough that Excalibur didn't clock it, but it was a nice little tribute to Pop. Gin and Juice gets countered, and Best Friends hit Strong Zero for the win. I think everyone thought the Best Friends were going to beat Private Party. It was a great match. Just give Chuck and Trent the belts. They're like the most over team in that company that on the box. So
they need to pull the trigger on something this Wednesday, I think. Do need to pull the trigger on something this Wednesday, I think. Not sure what.
I'm intrigued on what they could possibly pull. So there's two ways they could go. One is the road less travelled, which would be maybe the Best Friends, because we'll get to the end of the show, and maybe that was a bit of a full storm with that team. Maybe the Best Friends end up, because they did seem quite heelish in this. You could do that as an alternative, or you do the obvious one, which is perhaps a certain cowboy does what we all thought he was going to do, and that's how Best Friends win the belts. However, either way, I do think Chuck and Trent need them. I don't think Omega and Hangman need them as much now.
I think that Hangman stays face and the Elite turn heel on him.
Then again, we'd have two big heel we'd have every faction would be heel that's not Cody's faction, and Cody's faction's barely a faction.
Cody's faction is like the adjacent.
Yeah, so you'd have Dark Order, Inner Circle, and the Elite all being heel. That for me, that's.
I think the Inner Circle off. We'll get to that.
We get some pre-match comments. I missed because my internet started messing around. The only bit I saw, the Orange Cassidy was confused by the entire concept of a ladder match itself. I did end up seeing the GIF bit of Trent basically going, "You need to turn the ladder upwards and go up it." Helpful friends. We then open,
and then Orange Cassidy turns the ladder from lying flat on the floor to lying on its side.
I know, it was pretty. He was slowly getting there. Literally, ironically, ladder match, step by step. Orange Cassidy was understanding the concept of a ladder match. The Casino ladder match opened, which I was actually, I don't know why I was surprised by. I thought we were going to get one of the singles, MJF Jungleboy maybe could have opened, but then it makes sense to have the big multi-man. As
always with pay-per-view reviews, and there's something that I take into account is structure, and I've got an interesting point about the structure of AEW's pay-per-views. After this, let's talk about this ladder match.
So, Casino ladder match. We had Darby Allin, Kip Sabian, Orange Cassidy, Luchasaurus, Joey Janela replacing Rey Fenix via injury, Colt Cabana, Kazarian and Scorpio Sky. They all lost, however, to the ninth man, which was the debuting Brian Cage, we'll get to in a few minutes. We opened with Scorpio Sky and Kazarian. Solid SoCal graps to open between those two. I did notice that I love that they did the thing, obviously 1 and 2 coming out, instead of just like the WWE thing where they just let the music play, they stopped the song and then restarted it again.
Like very Royal Rumble, was it 99? Story.
What? There was one.
The Hardys came out for 1 and 2.
Oh, 2001.
2001. It was either one of the two.
Yeah, I think the Hardys came out 1 and 3, 1 and 2. But you are right, it did happen. The Kip Sabian appears and Jimmy Havoc helps him, but then he gets yeeted onto a ladder by Kazarian. Darby Allin comes in, runs wild, and Darby Allin does one of the most dangerous spots I've ever seen.
But like, there's one person you're going to trust to jump off a high thing the way that he jumped off a high thing, it's Darby Allin, because he was jumping off high things with the tool that he used before he was a professional wrestler.
This is true. He did yeet his skateboard at Kazarian and then ollies off a ladder on his skateboard through a ladder. We then get Orange Cassidy, who is the highlight of this and who I wanted to win this match. And the whole thing of his entrance was him just literally being annoyed at the idea of being in a ladder match or doing anything. The particular favourite of mine is him going over to the announcer's table and a very exasperated Excalibur going, "Tony Khan told you it was a ladder match 200 times. How do you not know this yet?"
It's a joy. Just is.
Yeah, he's great. And then when he brings the ladder in and just first of all, he stands there and just reaches up and goes, "I can't get it." And then gets a ladder and stands on it and goes, "I still can't get it." And then just goes...
He turns it on his side again.
And just goes, "Fine, I'll climb a ladder." Colt Cabana...
He waits for someone else to set it up.
Colt Cabana comes in, does some stuff. Luchasaurus comes in, does some stuff. Joe Janela comes in and does some stuff. Darby runs wild, hits like a big Yoshi tonic on Luchasaurus. He gets up to the top. 3, 2, 1. Can you handle the path of Cage? And Taz comes out with Brian Cage, who was rumoured to be an AEW signing literally the minute after he lost the Impact World title. Came back, said he was staying with Impact. Got injured and then has now turned up in AEW anyway.
Do you remember Impact wrote him off he lost to heel RVD in 2 seconds or something?
Yes, I was saying but the reason he lost to RVD in 2 seconds was because he was injured.
Right. But apparently from that moment he was signed.
I wasn't sure. I think it was.
Just come out today. From that moment,
okay.
Tony Khan has confirmed. I think it's Tony Khan who confirmed this. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on this, but somebody high up in the AEW rankings has confirmed this in the media. From that moment, he was signed. However, he was injured, so they paid him while he was injured. Up until that point, they knew his return date was May. They were hoping he could do stuff on TV before that, but it wasn't able to materialize. What with coronavirus? So yeah.
He comes in, yeets everyone out. Also, good on AEW for paying him while he was injured, which is obviously a nice thing. He yeets everyone about, climbs up the ladder with Orange Cassidy on his back and everyone pulling at his legs just to basically show he's really, really big. He beats everyone down. Brian Cage gets literally buried by everyone. Cassidy and Kip fight on top of the ladder, and Orange bends his fingers and nearly gets it. I got my hopes up. I genuinely thought Orange Cassidy was going to win. Havoc stops him. Penelope then tries to stop him, and she goes. They both go flying, and then Luchasaurus puts a stop to it. Orange Cassidy then tries to chokeslam Luchasaurus, which was brilliant. just him going, doing the thing, and then look at him going, "You go up!" Like the power of verbal will make it happen.
Oh, like the take on Hogan that one time.
Yeah. We also like the Hurricane in Rumble 2002, where he just stands there with Triple H and Stone Cold. Marco Stunt then comes in, stands on a tiny ladder, and they hit a double choke slam. Then the match kind of just falls apart a little bit. A lot of little bits and bobs happened, a lot of kind of blown spots, which was a shame. A lot of the opening matches did have a lot of blown spots. It got better as it was going along. Gino then hits a DVD onto Orange Cassidy, onto the debris that's on top of Brian Cage, which must have sucked for Brian Cage. Brian Cage is alive. He then jumps out, and I am hoping either this week or next that Brian Cage's debut wrestling matches on AEW is against Luchasaurus, because I want to see these two wrestle several times and in several different combinations.
My favorite thing is, if you obviously I've had to pay way closer attention to AEW more recently than I have been. Check us out. We review it every Thursday on Wednesday Night War, which is not confusing at all. But Az has been making overtures to Darby Allin like a month.
Yeah.
Since he lost to Cody, he's been going, "Darby, I can help you." And it's almost like Taz has been imploring Darby to join him. He can build a stable. He's got that ace in the hole.
Yes, and this has been the whole thing, and then this match basically ended with Taz being like, "Well, I offered you a chance, and now I'm going to have this giant man." And I've seen Brian Cage and Darby Allin wrestle each other in Evolve. And it had the best finish. Basically, Darby lost by count out with a 20 count because they were in like a small nightclub thing, and the finish was the Brian Cage gorilla pressed Darby Allin and threw him from the ring to the stage that was a good 10 feet away. And he lost via count out, so he had to crawl for all the chair. It was really, really good. The end of this match was a shame because he had to reset it, but basically it was Cage gorilla pressing Darby on a ladder and throwing him to the outside, and then he gets...
That doesn't sound familiar at all.
Every time someone does that move, it never ends up looking as good as they think it does. Even with two people. They did it in WWE with two people carrying the ladder. It never works out because the ladder's heavy and there's also a man, and you've also been wrestling for 10 minutes. It was a car crash. It was a bit too botchy. It wasn't as good as I thought it would be. It was still good.
It was a ladder match.
Yeah.
Ladder match. Just all of them are just... Generally, it doesn't matter how botchy they are. That can be explained. And I'd like to credit the super experienced announce team. Finally, giving a wrestling psychology reason for why wrestlers climb ladders so slowly.
I missed that. I must have missed that. What did they say?
They said that wrestling canvas, because of its nature of being able to not being soft exactly, but being built to be able to take multiple bumps, is the most stable surface for a ladder to be on. Therefore, if you climb it too fast, you'll just fall over.
There we go. Problem solved. I love
my, like I was hearing it. I was like, "Is literally." How long have ladder matches been a thing? Ladder matches, I guess, were codified by, Michaels Ramone.
Yeah, the first public ladder match on like a mainstream ladder match was 92. There was like a Brett and Shawn one that happened like on a random TV name to test for
30 years.
Yeah, and they've only just thought of the reason why now. We'll get to your pacing point in a second. My other question was, why was Brian Cage's tongue blue? That was... I don't understand.
I don't know.
I don't know. But your point...
I don't want to know anything about Brian Cage. I know far too much about Brian Cage's private life. His tongue can be blue as much as he wants, as long as he doesn't.
Just don't tweet about it.
Honestly, you were saying good on AEW for paying him while he was injured. Maybe if he wasn't paid while he was injured, he wouldn't have the time to tweet that.
Yeah. Oliver bringing up tweets from about 4 years ago that he didn't even tweet. He just
4 years ago. 4 years ago.
It was a while ago that incident occurred. Anyway, your point on pacing. You said you were going to discuss pacing.
Him and Melissa talking about the size of his dick. I'm pretty sure that was.
It was a long time ago. Anyway, what was your point on pacing?
Point on pacing was. If you want to see wrestlers that AEW consider are going to be, if they are a thing in 5 years, 10 years, top of the company, look at the second match on their pay-per-views. Because if you look at the last pay-per-view, who was on second? Darby Allin versus Sammy Guevara.
Yeah.
If you look at this match, which I really enjoyed, was on second.
MJF and Jungleboy.
I think that's a real... Yeah.
So they kind of do it's like women are not on second in AEW. it's the up and
future is future.
Are you saying that AEW don't consider the women in the future? Oh my god, AEW's cancelled. Anyway, MJF over Jungle Boy. This was a great match. I really enjoyed this match. It was It was a great way for them in this match to get MJF back over as a big main event heel, but at the same time also show that he's not a shitty wrestler, because he won fair-ish. Yeah, so it was like, I really like this. So MJF gets out wrestled by Jungle Boy early on, and then MJF does the classic holding his knee and then uses that as a ploy to lower his guard and attack Jungle Boy. MJF starts working over Jungle Boy, working over his arm and shoulder. Jungle Boy gets in some chops. MJF then clips him on the outside. MJF gets distracted by the crowd, and then Jungle Boy hits some dives. Jungle Boy then hits his mad springboard outside in DDT, but then MJF gets his foot on the ropes, but then MJF starts working the arms. They do a chop battle, which was an interesting one for MJF and Jungle Boy to do. But then again, I guess you could argue in storyline terms it was like MJF basically literally going, you need slapping down, and Jungle Boy going into his foot, as we call over here in the UK, the Ben Mitchell technique. And then we get a typical indie thing, Destroyer, but then in his days he hits a super kick and then he falls on top of him for a near fall. MJF bangs out the JML driver for a near fall. MJF gets Ospreyed on a Poison Rana on the lip of the apron, so he just goes back of his head into the lip of the apron. It was a nasty spot.
Michael Oku and Osprey's neck at the same time, just salute.
Kota Ibushi's like, I remember in my day, I was doing...
Kota Ibushi looked at that spot and went...
Amateurs. MJF pushes...
I believe that Kota Ibushi's neck isn't part of that club. I believe that Kota Ibushi is part of that club, and his neck is an unfortunate spectator.
Yeah. It's an innocent bystander that keeps getting involved.
Just a civilian in these neck wars.
MJF pushed the ref into the rope, stop a big Jungle Boy dive, but then Jungle Boy rallies and it's a middle rope powerbomb for an air fall. MJF goes for a shoulder breaker, but his back gives out. These guys wrestle back and forth. They exchange pins. They both go for the O'Connor roll while holding the tights, but then MJF bridges back with a European clutch and still grabs the tights. But in a way, it looks like he's hit one with a legitimate wrestling move. Great match. Really, really good. Both guys looked really, really strong.
You kind of glossed over the fact that once MJF started working the arm, Jungle Boy started working his back, which is why the back gave out. So
yes,
that was a wonderful bit of psychology. Wonderful bit of psychology throughout. But honestly, this is night and day from the Sammy Guevara versus Darby Allin match. But, honestly, I want to see any four of that combination just wrestle as much as possible, because they can all learn a lot from each other.
Yeah, I would really love to see MJF against Darby Allin, because I reckon it'd be really, really good. And Jungle Boy versus Sammy Guevara would be the right side of a car crash. It'd be brilliant.
I think Jungle Boy versus Sammy Guevara. Yeah, Jungle Boy versus Sammy Guevara would be. I think that Jungle Boy versus Darby Allin.
That would be really good as well. It'd be very, very interesting.
Really, it would just be yeah.
We then get to the TNT title.
It'd be the kind of match that would give Lawson hard on for long enough that he'd have to call a doctor. Shout
out to Lawson. Let's talk about the TNT title. Cody going over Lance Archer. Let's look at that belt. In its current state, that belt looks awful.
Hey, do you know what? Want to know what that belt looks like? That belt looks like an unfinished Iron Man armor.
This is true. That is accurate, but they're saying that apparently it's not finished.
I know they're saying that. No, I wasn't finished roasting the belt. That belt looked like Tony Stark didn't have money. In fact, it looked like Tony Stark was a millionaire and not a billionaire. It looks like it looks like Tony Stark actually came from Sokovia. I was just like, I'll build you some sort of armor, Scarlet Witch, because you're a squishy magic user. And that was the best he could come up with. It looked like a changing room midway between original room and the bullshit that came out.
Any more?
Truth would be proud to wear that around his shoulder. Now I'm done.
Right. I did also enjoy Mike Tyson just pissing himself laughing at Lance Archer beating up a bloke as he came out.
Is it always black guy?
Mike Tyson is just... No, is it always been...
I mean the jobbers.
I was going to say, not the Mike, but I was going to say Mike Tyson. Half the match, he was just laughing at everyone getting beaten up. Then I swear someone went in his ear and was like, you need to be a face. Start cheering Cody.
No, to be honest, I like that. Because the ref... because I didn't mind him just enjoying it. And then the ref actually asking Mike Tyson, so you're the only one with a clear view of what happened and that went down. He actually ejected the face first.
I know, Tyson just like, it's brilliant.
Tyson just wants to see blood, but he wants to see blood fairly. I like that. Moment that we'll get to it.
I was going back to your Lance Archer point, and I'm trying to think back, because now I'm generally thinking they might have done the given Lance Archer the Rusev treatment.
No, they didn't.
If you don't know, I mean, as in the Rusev treatment. If you don't know, when Rusev debuted, whether it be accidental or on purpose, everyone that he squashed was a wrestler of color.
He squashed. Rusev is the reason the New Day are together, so he squashed all three of them in a row.
Yeah,
squashed R-Truth as well, and he also squashed.
Wouldn't Shelton? No, Shelton wouldn't have been there.
Shelton was not part of the company, so amazing. It was one other person before he moved on to Sheamus.
JTG? It might have been actually JTG might have won the squash match, because he might have still been there when Rusev turned up. Maybe. Can't remember.
Titus, maybe.
Oh, Titus. Yeah, that makes sense. To be Titus. But I'm now trying to think back of every person that Lance Archer yeeted on the way to the ring. I feel like there was at least one or two white guys.
No, I know. But it's mostly a holdover from WWE, and basically just all of their jobbers during this Empty Arena series are black. All their male jobbers.
Oh my god, you're right. I've not clocked that until now.
Yeah, you wouldn't. It's not acutely aware of,
This match was okay. This was like one of the matches I was least excited about. I was kind of slightly intrigued by it, but it was probably my second least intrigued match. Yeah. Has been well built, yeah. The storyline's been good.
It was well built. I'm not a technical guy, I'm a storyline guy, so in that respect I was interested with it. Very interested. I was more interested in this match than say I was very interested in this. Because I honestly wanted to see which way they went.
Yeah, I'm shocked with the outcome, to be honest.
Not that shocked with the outcome. He needs something to do. I can't lose all the time.
I know, but he doesn't need a title belt. I don't think Cody needs a belt.
Only way for him to go if he had lost his title belt was he. And like you said to me, are too many heels.
Yeah, I guess. And then again, it's him like imitating his dad, because this is essentially their TV title, and Dusty Rhodes was kind of well known for being like the TV champion, so on and so forth. Lance Archer hits the blackout immediately for a near fall. Cody tries to wrestle.
Wasn't even a near fall. He rolled out the ring.
Oh, did he roll out? Oh, okay, sorry.
Or did he get a near fall when Cody rolled out?
I feel like it was. Anyway. I feel like he got a near fall and then he rolled out. I'm fairly certain he got a pin.
Right.
So we're both right.
Yeah.
Cody tries to wrestle him down, but then Lance overpowers him and then just yeets him about a bit. Lance Archer does his amazing rope walk moonsault combination, which is just one of the coolest moves in wrestling. Cody tries to work over Lance's ribs, and then Archie yeets Cody to the outside. Mike Tyson is just loving life, just pissing himself laughing.
Be honest, wouldn't you be if you had that scene?
Yeah, to be fair. Archer works.
Who's that dickhead with a shit tattoo? He deserves to be thrown around. Oh my god, someone's doing it.
Mike Tyson. I think Mike Tyson is the only person that could call Cody the dickhead with the shit tattoo and be like, "But you're Mike Tyson."
Mike Tyson is the only person with a shit tattoo who can call Cody a
This is true.
That is the qualifier there.
That is the only
anyone could call Cody the guy with a shit tattoo.
Yeah, it's the only instance where Cody can say that he is an alpha compared to Mike Tyson's beta, and that is in the shit tattoo stakes. Archer works Cody over. Cody hits a crossface, but then Jake does the distraction. Cody hits a DDT, and the Snake Man gets upset. So Lance hits a spine buster, and Arn is upset. Cody cutter for a 1 count. Cody hits an elbow, and the final reckoning, and then a crossroads. So like the full Rhodes back catalogue for a near fall.
Rhodes family tree.
Oh, the Rhodes, yeah.
Call that combination the Rhodes. Look how Joe, German, then a dragon, then a tiger was the Chimera suplex.
Oh yeah.
Someone should call that the Rhodes family tree.
Chokeslam from an Archer for near fall. Arn then crotches Lance Archer on the buckle. And then Cody then nearly kills Archer with a reverse superplex, and he drops him right on his head. And then Tyson just stooges off Arn, which was brilliant. Yeah, fuck off. He gets thrown out. Jake gets thrown out as well. Tyson gets the snake. But then also Jake gets the snake, and then Tyson squares up to him.
Because that's my favourite thing. Your face. He's Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson wants to see people beat the crap out of each other without any of this interference. It was kind of the crux of his time in the WWE as well. The moment that someone getting involved, he's not about it. He's knocking people out. He's a bit older. He's a bit calmer. All he needs to do is stand there. He's still Mike Tyson. Jake the Snakes don't want that smoke.
Also, I don't know whether this was a hidden joke from AEW, but Mike Tyson warding off a snake, warding off something he can't say. It's just
stressful,
kind of ironic in a way. Cody counts the blackout into a pair of crossroads.
Will he mind if I tag Mike Tyson in this? Podcast where we show him the utmost respect, but the main host makes fun of his lisp.
Oh yeah, because I'm the only person who's done that in ever. Like I'm the one who crossed the line. Yeah, no, it was a good match.
Maybe crossed the line.
Now you're in the same boat. So yeah, it was a good match. Probably it was one I was one of the ones I was least interested in, but. Yeah, I was surprised that Cody got the belt, but we'll see what happens going forward. Hopefully when they put the other bits on the belt, it won't look as bad.
I think it's really obvious. I think Cody's going to lose this belt quick.
That's a fair point. Depends who too.
I think Cody, I think it's really obvious.
Do you reckon, MJF or Darby Allin?
11. He's now 11-0 in 2020. If wins and losses mean anything, you need to give him a title shot of some description.
Imagine if on Wednesday MJF beats Cody for that belt.
Oh, he'll win the over the top battle royal.
Oh yeah, the battle royal, that makes sense. Yeah, we find out that Britt Baker has really messed her knee up, cracked her knee, torn ligaments. She's going to announce when she's returning.
Honestly, as soon as I saw that on Dynamite, I was everyone was talking about Phoenix eating shit, and I was like, Phoenix will be fine. Phoenix has eaten shit on multiple occasions, sometimes right in front of me. Baker is fucked. She's crying. She's fucked.
And you know what it was? It was one of the... I was going to say, it was one of those ones... It was... when the innocuous injuries are always the worst ones?
Exactly, yeah.
It didn't look... It looked bad... But it didn't look that bad. But the second she's rolled to the outside, she's holding her knee. I'm like, basically, Nyla Rose's full body weight's hit her in the knee, and it's cracked her patella. And rough.
I was like, it wasn't even the injury. You look at the reaction after.
Yeah.
Just this is the thing,
Yeah.
You really do know. I remember when I broke my wrist, even though I was 12, 13, I knew. I was just Joe just smacked his head at the door. I was just I didn't know. Something went. I can't see straight.
Yeah.
TWM podcasts are brought to you by We Love Sport, the fantastic app finding you your nearest sports bar showing the latest WWE pay-per-views. We Love Sport has over 400 of the best sports bars and pubs in the UK at your fingertips and allows you to book front row seats, giving you the best views of the action. You can also check out what sports are being shown over the next 7 days, making sure you don't miss a second of the action. Download the We Love Sport app on the App Store or Google Play Store. Follow We Love Sport on all social media platforms at We Love Sport UK and check out welovesport.co.
TWM podcasts have joined forces with WrestleCrate, the original and best monthly theme, monthly wrestling subscription service to bring you a fantastic deal. If you use the code TWM Wrestling when you sign up to a monthly subscription at WrestleCrate.co.uk, you will receive a free item in your first month's box. Then, if you stay for another month, you'll get a second free item. And then, if you stay for a third month, you guessed it, we'll give you a third free item. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. WrestleCrate brings you the best swag from the biggest companies and names in the wrestling world. We're talking t-shirts, photos, pins, DVDs, vinyl figures, and loads more from WWE, Progress, Shikara, NXT, Fight Club Pro, and loads more. That's WrestleCrate.co.uk and use the code TWM Wrestling for up to free items, all thanks to WrestleCrate and TWM.
We saw the comedy banding on Kip Sabian as he brought out Penelope Ford, which was a nice little heel shtick for Superbad. Chris Statlander over Penelope Ford. I thought it was good. This is probably Chris Statlander's best singles match so far.
Unfortunately, also probably worst match on this card. In terms of...
There is one match on this card that I disliked more than this.
Really?
And it is the next match.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, actually, no. You know what? That's not true.
Yeah.
That's a disservice to these ladies. I actually forgot about that match. I can't actually say that. This was good. It was good.
It was I think it was the best match of both of them. Yeah.
Yeah, because considering the circumstances, it's good. I'm not sure it's the right decision. I'm not sure if the winner would have been the same if everything was 100% peachy keen, but in 2020, when is anything ever 100% peachy keen?
True.
Hey, when was the last thing that you planned that 100% to plan this year happened? Please enlighten us.
January. Just January in general.
January in general. I'd say February for me.
So they were quite rough around the edges, but they had a good match. Statlander did nearly go into the quote-unquote crowd on a dive. Statlander win to the Big Bang Theory. It was a good match.
It was the best match that they definitely with their notice they had as well.
Yeah. It was the best match we could have expected out of the two. We then get
100%.
We get Sean Spears appearing, playing his music, and Dustin no-shows. Spears demands that Aubrey Edwards count. Dustin's music hits again, and Brandy appears, but then Dustin's there. This was really a nothing comedy match. It was Dustin kicks his ass and undresses Sean at the same time. Spears hits a clothesline, but then Dustin fights back. He pulls down Spears' pants, and JR says he thinks he's auditioning for a prison movie. I don't think that's okay to say.
That's not okay to say.
Sean Spears has Tully on his dick. If we were going to
that was something that we could have done without as well.
To all fairness, if we end up going to an AEW show, we could be singing he's got Tully on his dick.
On his dick.
Rose It's the Final Reckoning. It was like a 2-minute comedy match. I didn't enjoy it.
It was execution of this could have been better.
Yeah.
Been shorter.
I would have rather had Dustin Rhodes turn up, hit a few shots, hit the Final Reckoning, 1, 2, 3, rips all his clothes off, and then Sean runs to the back in 30 seconds. Rather than them having this was too long.
Had a match. Imagine them having a whole match. Imagine putting a sticker of Tully Blanchard on his dick. This was bad. It was so bad that I want to enjoy the show, therefore I forgot this. This was everything that they said that AEW said they were going to stand against in one match.
Oh yeah, this was a very WWE match, but just less said about it the better. They had said that All Out's on September 5th in 2020. They did have open the show with a nice tribute to Shad Gaspard, but then we did get right here before the women's title match a very lovely, heartfelt tribute from Excalibur to Hana Kimura.
Going to telegraph the result of this match. I lied to you.
It did, and it was weird that they were kind of crossing over the winner of this with that, because I think them two have rarely, unless I missed something, I rarely think these two have rarely crossed paths. It's just you are definitely on the right path here. I'm not going to say it because we don't need more, do we? We don't need more of this bullshit. No, we don't.
You're and my thought process is pretty similar here.
Yeah.
I'll be more frank. Well, I would wrap up what he said in making a snap judgment, but snap judgments are argue as well, guys, all here in the first place.
Yes, so we'll just go straight on to the match. For what I will say is probably the best women's match AEW have put on. The no DQ women's title match. Hikaru Shida wins the belt over Nyla Rose. Hikaru Shida is probably my favourite female wrestler in AEW, so I was delighted with this. This match was really good. It's my favourite match on the card.
This was a really good match. I would give all of the matches from this one, please. Every single 1, 2, 3, bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
Will I talk about my concerns going forward at the end of your analysis or now?
Well, let me just run through the match because it's a lot of it.
Exactly. So at the end of your analysis.
Yeah. So run through. So Shida goes right for Nyla Rose, goes for a kendo stick, but Nyla gets it back, and here's your kendo stick, bitch. Works over Shida. Shida hits a big knee. A lot of this is just Shida hitting big moves, Nyla throwing her around. Nyla throws Shida for a poker table. Nyla walks her over. The camera work is all over the place in this match, unfortunately. That is one drawback.
I think the camera work on this review in general just did a touch little.
It was a little bit off, yeah.
Just a tweak.
She does a crossbody off the stairs, and it's a big knee. She does like a judo throw onto the giant play chip. Big knee into some more chips. She then starts working over Rose with the stick. We get a suplex onto the stick and a knee for a near fall. Rose then fights back with some big moves. Hits her big knee. Again, it doesn't matter whenever we get crowds, can we just have mic'd up Pineapple Pete / Sugar Duncan at the front, because when Nyla goes to get the table, Sugar just yells, "Why a table got to suffer?"
Related to this, my favourite Nyla Rose moment of her entire run as champion is, "Oh, the kendo stick, bitch!" It's so good.
It's unintentionally hilarious.
It's not. No, it's intentionally hilarious because she, watch it back, actually turns to the camera, mugs for a bit, and then walks off.
It's just
she knows how funny it is.
Nyla then
she goes, "I'm fighting against it," and then walks off.
Nyla hits a powerbomb into the table for a near fall, hits a DVD, kendo stick shots, goes to the top. She then just does the No Mercy N64 thing and just throws the kendo stick at her.
Yes, I remember thinking, is that kendo stick empty?
Top rope Falcon Arrow, beautiful move for a near fall. The knee gets blocked by kendo stick.
Deal.
Did the ultimate deal.
Do you miss me at shows asking you if every single move is the deal?
Do you miss me then saying back to you, depends how many drinks I've had, either it's a modified Blue Thunderbomb or shut up, Joe?
I do miss you. I do miss you, Matt.
I miss you too, my friend. Forearm and a big knee for an near fall, big kendo stick shot, and then a big knee for the win. I think this is I know you're going to probably disagree here. I think this is the right move to give Shida the belt. Nyla was off for such a long period of time. I reckon I reckon they pull her back, rebuild her, have her win the belt again down the road, and give her a proper reign. Giving it to Shida. Shida is the most popular athlete, and at this current time, you probably need more face champions than heel champions at the moment. So for me, it's the right move, but I will allow you your rebuttal, Joseph.
Is Shida gonna hold the belt until Britt Baker's back from injury, which looks like it's going to be at least 6 months?
I don't think it'll be that long, but
I think it is, and she's going to run out of competitors. Really is, unless they make more signings, which is going to be difficult. And is Tanara Conti going to come in and the belt of Shida? Those are the levels we're talking about.
Well, you got to think of the people that also. There's 2 other people that are in Florida. I know it's signing WWE talent, but they're not necessarily talent. There is Rachel Ellering, and the other one is Deonna Purrazzo.
Deonna Purrazzo, actually, that's probably about.
So you probably could bring in Purrazzo, yeah.
She was meant to be the face that put over Britt as the heel or model champion. No?
Yeah.
Haven't built a heel enough for that, unless they're going to trade back and forth a couple of times.
Well, I reckon
I wouldn't be adverse to, actually. I can actually see that happening. I can actually see Nyla just being you couldn't be being basically doing a Randy Orton Randy Orton. Couldn't be a real wrestling match, bitch.
So we're going to get Shida against Rose in the greatest wrestling match of all time at Fyter Fest.
Loved it. So upset. I felt like they just announced Fyter Fest was meant to be in London. Fired.
Oh, was it meant to be in London? I did not know that. Oh, disappointing things.
Yeah.
I guarantee I know where it was going to be as well.
It was a good, Excel Centre?
No, it was it was Fyter Fest. It was going to be in London. They spoke about it before. They were probably going to hold it at Craven Cottage.
Oh way!
Like that's been that was mooted. It was going to be Craven Cottage. It would have been amazing. You could have come to the home of football to watch wrestling.
The Michael Jackson statue is still there.
No, it's gone. It's in the National Football Museum now.
Stop saying. Like that's the one reason I wanted to go to Craven Cottage without a wrestling event.
We get to the title match. So the Stadium Stampede was on last. So we see Moxley's jacket, too big, but it'll grow into it, like all our mums tell us.
It's into that champion. It's a champion's jacket because Flair has his robes, and his robes are so big and so not big for him. They're just so ornate, so much other things going into it. As a champion, wearing the belt underneath it, he took it off. Took it off, and then took the belt off. He looked vulnerable, which is a really good shout. It's something that Okada does as well. It's really, really good. When Moxley's got wearing that belt with that jacket, it's going to and he takes it off and he looks vulnerable. He eventually loses it. It's going to look incredible.
Okay. They do the Star Devlin security thing, and then JR brings up that Brody hates sneezing. Could you get it? Vince McMahon, lol, sharp.
Sincerely hope that him losing this match is the end of this. This
was better than I thought it would be, honestly, because I'm still not sold on Brody Lee as a concept in AEW, but this was a lot better than I thought it would be.
No, this match was great. I wish the Vince...
Oh, yeah, the Vince stuff, yeah. Hopefully that they put a stop to that, because it fucking does my head in. So John Moxley retains the title via ref stoppage. Brody works over Mox, but then misses a kick. Mox hit a dive. Lee suplex on the outside. It's a lot of heavy, hard-hitting offense. Big meat men slapping meat, so to speak. Brody works Mox over. He hits a dive. Pump handle suplex onto a guardrail that JR calls a chair. The two batter each other. Mox, remembering his times with Minoru Suzuki, it's his Gotch pile driver, grabbing the dick for a near fall. Mox then backdrop Brody into some stuff. Brody threw some Mox and stuff. There's a lot of people being thrown into set design in this match. Brody is his big boot.
It's almost as if they don't need to worry about it because the next match is pre-recorded.
Yes. Mox cannot rise to face Brody, so then Mox just yeets a chip at Brody. Powerbomb gets blocked, and then Mox, in a really nice spot, I like this spot, Mox hit the paradigm shift through the ramp. The old Taz Bigelow 98 spot.
That was a good spot.
Moxley emerges up, then Brody comes up and he's busted open. Paradigm shift, 1 count. Another high angle paradigm shift, we get a 2 count, and then he locks in the rear naked choke and the ref calls for the bell. So Brody Lee didn't tap out or get pinned. The ref stopped the match, so they have scope to go forward if they want to. Like I said, this was better than I thought it would be, so it did what it set out to do.
100% way better than... full layer of storytelling there. Mox hit 3 moves on number 10. High neck, and then newly Chris off the Dark Order on day, and it took the finishing maneuvers to put out Brody.
Yeah.
Beautiful day. Also, the crack camera work at the beginning, garbage. All you're gonna have Mr. Brody Lee unzipping his robe to show the AEW belt around his waist for the first time, and you zoom in on his face instead.
It's like the camera work still, they've got a lot of like kinks to kick out, which is a shame. After a year there's still issues with the camera work. We then get to the Stadium Stampede. This was brilliant. I loved all of this.
This did everything right that the Money in the Bank happened.
Yes,
but also a couple of elements that the WWE Money in the Bank match got right, it got wrong. But that's more to do with production, which it can be forgiven for. They're a newer company still finding their feet with aspect of.
But I'm feeling the production wise. Do you agree with me on this that there was, again talking about cameras, there was a lot of crappy camera cuts during this match? There was a fair few poor edits.
Like a lot of wrestling camera cuts in there. Which in a cinematic wrestling match you do not need.
Yeah.
In a cinematic wrestling match you need to see what's actually going on.
Ironically, bad camera cuts the WWE don't do, but none of them were as bad as the bad camera cut on NXT with the Velveteen Dream. So,
but that was the fake something happening. That's slightly different.
The Inner Circle get football gear and introductions, which genuinely popped me. That was really funny.
Apparently, each of the numbers had significance. I don't know what Santana and Ortiz's
5150
was. Oh, really?
Yeah, they're 5150. So LAX.
Oh. Amazing.
Or it's like the crime code, isn't it? For I can't remember what 5150 is in America, but it's the LAX.
I'm looking it up.
Yeah, Jericho had his dad's hockey jersey number.
I got everyone else's 5150. Meaning, yeah, Jericho had his dad's number. Guevara had the year he was born. I think Jake Hager had the number that he wore when he played football.
Yeah.
It's psychiatric commitment of individuals who present a danger to themselves or others due to signs of mental illness.
Yeah, 5150. So, ref blows the whistle, fight. Ortiz immediately just does a shotgun dropkick into Omega. We get brooms and trash cans. Hangman Page arrives on a fucking horse and starts chasing Sammy Guevara down.
Yeah, I'd like to take it back for a second and just talk about the fact that Hangman Page will turn up and both the Bucks are like, this is the last fucking straw. and Kenny Omega is just like something that you see in being the elite all the time. Don't worry. It's going to be sick, guys. It's going to be sick. And they're very skeptical. So every time Kenny Omega does that,
it was what I love. It's just what I love about this is Sammy Guevara's like selling his face. He just turns around looking really smug, and he goes every time he does it. He just goes, "Why me? Why does this keep happening to me?"
I think Guevara is the first person to leave
someone. I was going to say, by the way, I read online to check it out. Apparently, the new meme going around is people are putting music to Hangman Page arriving on a horse. So I'll be checking all that out.
And no one has put his own music to Man Page riding on a horse, which upsets me.
They all hit well, there's your job. They all hit finishes in the ring, but Sammy escapes the horse and then immediately misses a shooting star press, which my brother made me laugh at, which was he turned around, I was watching this with my brother, and he just goes, there were 6 other people in the ring and none of them told him to not do it. Or they didn't hold him down while he was doing the shooting star press, they let him miss it. The Elite work over Sammy, and then Hardy kills him with the Twisto again. Everyone dives on everyone, and then Sammy nearly eats it again on a shooting star press, but then one of his own teammates catch him. They brawl around the stadium. I got something I wanted, which was one of them, someone doing a move off a goalpost, because Matt does a moonsault off a goalpost for a near fall.
It's Ren in the video segment for this.
Yeah. Omega and Santana Ortiz brawl in the seats. Hangman is still riding around looking for Sammy Guevara, and then just gives up to go to the bar.
Doesn't that just sound like my attitude with this website and podcasts?
What, you riding around looking for the nearest place to drink?
Like me setting out with the greatest of intentions and to do business, then giving up and going to drink.
Yes, hard relate. Omega gets suplexed onto a guardrail bridge and then a very dangerous powerbomb through it for a near fall. We then get, generally, I think, one of my favourite spots in this. So Hardy gets thrown into a pool. First of all, Ortiz, Santana goes to him, I can't swim, and the pool's 3 feet deep, so he very gingerly gets in. They then drown him, and he turns into Hardy Boy, Matt. They drown him again, but they
can't. So he turns into version 1, that's perfectly, doesn't he?
Oh no, the first one's the Hardy Boys, because then he goes down, and they have the shot of the pool, and he's doing the into the camera.
Yeah, that's true.
And then this bit killed me, because they're drowning him, and then the Matt facts come up on the screen, and they see it. They're like, the fuck? And they pull him up, and he's V1 Matt, and then he gets drowned back into Broken Matt again, it was just really, really funny. I
will say, drowning spot, Billy, this week.
That's a very good point. I didn't think of that. That is a very, very good point. Yeah.
Snowboy thought of it, and I just brought it up.
No, I didn't think of that. That's a very, very good, like, comedic, yes, but this week probably not the best idea. Yeah, you are right on that one.
They could have done the icebox again, and it would have been more fitting.
Yeah, that is a very, very fun. I generally did not think of that, but that is true. Ortiz gets his bell rung, and then tapes to a wheelchair. And then Santana gets thrown into an icebox where his heart used to be.
They've been building to that, because Matt Hardy's gimmick on being the Elite is him explaining, whenever the Bucks say an insider term, it cuts to him and he elaborately explains what the term means in layman's terms. So him ringing a bell, not actually hitting Ortiz, and Ortiz selling it like he's died.
My other favourite bit was Excalibur using his bell analogy a minute too early, and then Shivani going, use it too early, Excalibur, and then Excalibur immediately having a second bell analogy and being like, boom, I've got bell analogies for days, my friend. Hager then comes face to face with the horse. I generally thought we were going to get the Blazing Saddle spot, where someone punches the horse out.
Castle spot.
All the Dan Lloyd spot, yeah. Hangman is drinking.
Shout out to the CEO of this website.
Hager finds him. They have a drink, and then they have a very well choreographed bar fight. Pool cue. Hangman backflips off the bar. Then Hager yeets him onto the pool table, and we get the old Western spot on the bar where he slides him through the stuff. We get a Hager bomb through the table for a near fall, and then Omega and Page turn up and smash about 9 bottles of a little bit of the bubbly off his head. And then we get... I want this to be... This should be their finisher in the ring, where Omega bends over and Hangman does the buckshot over the top of Omega.
No, because there are ropes in it.
No, it just
should remain.
But it
just looks sick.
It looks sick. I just love it. It's really, really cool.
Looks sick. But I like the impact sandwich with the V-trigger versus the buckshot lariat.
No, but could it be a move they do on the outside? That'd be a really cool spot they do on the outside, yeah.
100% it could be a spot they do.
And they are tag team.
I'll give you that.
They are tag team coherent because Paige gets Omega some milk, and Omega gets Paige some whiskey, and they have a drink.
Honestly, that warmed my heart so much. It's gonna suck when Kenny turns on him on Thursday.
Sammy and Matt do flips, and then generally, I love Matt does his locomotion Northern Light suplex from one end of the stadium to the other.
Clearly not, but...
Oh, it was brilliant, though. I loved it.
Yeah. No, in storyline, yeah, he did.
Then we get other bits. We get Nick yeeting footballs at Jericho. Judas affects Jackson Deville. Good. Jericho gets super kicked into the kicking net. Jericho then bats for a near fall, and Jericho throws a flag and demands Aubrey Edwards to check the replay.
Oh.
Just loved it. So funny. And then demands a replay, and then I'm pretty sure Jericho just shouts out, the video is a lie.
Oh.
And then Sammy gets spiked in the end zone by Matt Jackson. He starts doing the Alex Wright dance, and Rick Knox calls it Success Celebration. And the feud that has been going on for about 15 years in PWG rears his ugly head in the AEW because Matt Jackson super kicks Rick Knox.
Well, to be honest, Rick Knox had a point.
It is an excessive celebration, but it was just
not even that. It's just it's like the celebration wasn't excessive. It was the choice of celebration was.
You never celebrate like Alex Wright.
Of course you don't.
We then get an amazing spot where Nick, in air quotes, runs the stadium steps, but clearly he's doing a dad run because he doesn't want to fall over, and does a big splash out of the bleachers onto a table.
That's one big spot for each of the Young Bucks thing.
And then Hangman Page, for no reason, just gets a line marker and runs it over Jericho.
I hear it.
Just generally brilliant. Sammy then gets taken out by sprinklers and gets up and goes, I'm the last man standing. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it. This is the greatest thrill of my life. I'm king of the world. Golf cart.
Winning. Yeah.
But he gets away. Sammy tries to choke Hardy out, and then we get Neo 1 making his debut.
Yes, a run-in from the new from the ashes of Vanguard 1 comes Neo 1, and then we get an absolute insane finish where Omega is a one-winged angel off like a
stage through another stage for the win. Elite and Hardy celebrate to close. Like I said, better than Money in the Bank. I thought this match was better than Money in the Bank. Not as good as the Boneyard match or Firefly Funhouse, but this was very, very good. I enjoyed this, and it left me with a smile on my face.
100% left me with a smile on my face. I found Funhouse match is going to take some. It was completely different to the Boneyard match, so I feel like I can't compare it.
I just meant it as general as a cinematic match. Like I looked at
I know. But like, I mean, in tone.
Oh yeah, no question. But I meant I'm not talking about as a whole match. I meant as enjoyment. I still enjoyed Boneyard and Firefly Funhouse more than this, but I enjoyed this more than the Money in the Bank ladder match. So that was AEW Double or Nothing 2020. Joe, let's wrap things up. What's your overall grade?
Oh, like how much weight do I give to a match?
It's up to you.
Because it's a solid class to A- without a match. That means it actually up is a solid B.
Solid.
But I don't think I am. That match, like I said, it means nothing. It's really annoying that I ended up on the pay-per-view. It's a massive point against. It's the only thing.
Oh, what do you mean, Dustin Rhodes and Sean Spears?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was unnecessary.
Yes.
Necessary. They could have added more minutes onto Sheeta. Give for crying out loud, Sheeta and Rose a bit more time. You know. Yeah. They got time. They did get time. They got time.
You could probably put a bit more on Statlander and Penelope Ford, to be honest.
Probably. Like, yeah, they could have built, because like that match did feel like they just went for it, didn't they?
Yeah.
And that is both of their respective styles, but like there was like a little bit of pacing that match could have really helped them.
For me, I'm gonna say B+, because I feel like there was only really like everything was, like I said, great stuff. Sheeta and Nyla, loved it. Stadium Stampede, loved it. Best Friends and Private Pie, loved it. The
ladder match was a ladder match.
Ladder match was good.
It's kind of trend. And that sends rankings.
Yeah, everything else was good, and the only thing I didn't really like even Cody and Lance was better than I thought it would be, so that still goes on the good. The only thing I didn't like was Dustin and Sean Spears. So for me, it just gets it gets a B+ right around that. So
that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you factor that in, it's a B+. Without it, it could make an A.
It could, yeah. If that match didn't happen and they added then 5 minutes onto Penelope Ford, or even if they're 5 minutes onto Cody and Lance, it probably would be an A. But here we are, B+ across the board here.
So I think it's a general. That's general. That's fair.
Yeah. If you want to go check out Victoria Tizangi's review on this, the written version is up at twm.news right now. You can check out all of our social media at TWM Wrestle, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. I believe Reese texted me earlier on saying we're going to do another Fire Pro Twitch stream tomorrow, so feel free to join us. Maybe with a bit of a Super Strong Style 16 flavour. I don't know. We have to check out tomorrow to find out. Twitch.tv/TWM Wrestle. At twm.news, we're going to have loads of stuff going on next week, including we're going to have two kind of memorial pieces of obviously of what happened last week with Shad Gaspard and Hana Kimura, and the usual reviews. You got Anything But Wrestling coming out tomorrow, the episode 2 with Mariah Mace. Check that out. It's really, really funny and really, really enjoyable. That'll be on our podcast platforms of choice. Podcast, leave a rating, review, subscribe, YouTube, smash that like button, turn on notifications, all that good stuff. Joe, anything you want to say at the end of this?
Yeah, just to each other. And no, actually, you know what? Be kinder to each other. I'm not just talking about us. Like, obviously we should be, but like the situation that she found herself in with the public figure without a filter, the fact that she didn't have a support system, that to me is, well, I'm not.
Yeah.
I've had a couple.
No, I get your point. I think everyone, and I think that's something we're going to say a lot over, not even next few weeks, I think from now on, is...
And the people that feel like they shouldn't be held accountable to the individual has the right, as they should be, be able to go on social media and say what they want. But like that should come with the basic human decency we should all treat every human being with.
Yes.
They do something. They do an action which is horrid, which Hana Kimura definitely didn't.
Yeah. Be kinder to each other. Be nicer to each other. We're all in this together. I can't believe I just quoted High School Musical at the end of this. Thanks for listening.